Howdy there, I am Scott Grove, Dr. Groovy of GroovyMusicLessons.com. I want to explain to a lot of folks how they can get that vintage sound, get the cleanest sound they've ever got out of their guitars. I want to explain to people who have misconceptions about the outputs of their pickups when they say, I want an 8K output pickup or a 18K output pickup, and you think that has something to do with volume. No, it has nothing to do with that. I want to explain to you how to get the best clean sounds, and what I mean by that is exactly that, to get the best clean tones that you've ever heard. And then if you want to go crunchy or metally or whatever, you can go from there, but you have to start with a great guitar sound and then start throwing stuff on there. You know, you can't go out and buy a guitar with 0 pickups and then start twiddling knobs on your amp and make it sound amazing. It just don't work like that. So I'm going to tell you how they actually work real quick and what you can do to totally make your act sound the best that it can, despite your musical genre, your preferences that you think you have, the way you think things work, and how to get that vintage sound. And it's not by mixing different pickups and outputs and all that stuff. That's not the way it was done, and that's not the way it is done. I don't do my guitars that way, and they are amazing and very well received. Number one, the K thing. People think, generally, let's just go with a 2 pickup axe with humbuckers or something, that if they have an 8K pickup in their in their neck position, and then they're going to put a 14K pickup into their bridge position and then hit that and go to the bridge, and you got this major output for soloing, and it's going to be right from warm. I hate that term. There is nothing that is warm other than the sun, maybe, and then other products that emit heat. But the word warm for tone, stupidest thing invented. Not the stupidest thing invented, but maybe that's a butt plug. Anyway, no, I think they don't work. It's not like that. Again, K on there, that's a measurement of ohms, resistance. It has 0 to do with volume. You're like, why is it louder then if the K is, the number before the K is bigger? It's marketing, kids, that you fall for it, and you're falling for it now. Resistance is resistance. It's ohms. Do you understand ohms? Okay, then if you do, you have an 8 ohm cabinet and another 8 ohm cabinet. You hook those together, then you have a 4 ohm cabinet. You get a lot less power being delivered to and coming out of each speaker. So everything is way drained and down. Okay, so ohms, the more you have of those things, then it brings things down and it's quieter. So that higher number is just put there to confuse you and to make sure that the marketing works on you, and it is working on y'all. Okay, overwound pickups are, once you get to a certain point of winding them on there, letting the machine wind them, then overwound is where they start getting louder at a certain point. Well, they get louder at every point, but at a certain point they will start losing all their fidelity. The high end goes, and then the thing that goes first is what's called the peak frequency. A lot of people like to have that 1K. It's right above 800 hertz and below 2 kilohertz. That 1K, which bites right through your flippin' mix. People like that, but as soon as you turn your volume back, or especially your tone on your guitar, that's the first frequency to go away. And the people who use the knobs on their guitars are generally the ones that are really adamant about having that 1K, so it will work. You pay money for that, but you delete that immediately by changing your knobs. So that's what you're doing. And then you're like, okay, I'll just put a treble bleed circuit in there, and then that doesn't cure anything. Then you got to go over to your amp and turn up more highs because you just made your guitar sound horrible by the pickups you put in it. And then the treble bleed because you have inferior pickups because they are overwound, and now you're using these pots that are cutting away your tone, period, that you just tried to fix by putting in different capacitors and so forth and different little tricks to try to make them sound better. It's like you should have got a good pickup to begin with and use external devices to make your stuff sound better, or just use the tried and true thing of turning your amp on 20. So again, that is resistance at play. The way that the people got their sounds so amazingly back in the days that you guys all love was they used low output pickups, very low. Gibson used very low output pickups. Fender, very low. For those of you who love the sound, if you go pick up a 57 Strat or something like that, or a 59 Les Paul, or whatever, you're like, man, those just sound amazing. They got the original pickups in them. They were running Alnico pickups in them, which lose their charge. So now they're like a quarter of what they were when they were originally made. So they are running, a quarter of output of what they were made. So they sound way different than they were when they were made. So you're falling in love with a tone that wasn't there when the guitar was made. It's a totally different tone you're listening to. Ceramic pickups keep their charge and their tone for the entire life of the magnet and for your entire life. So that's actually the better deal. But along the same thing, we'll leave that because that is that. If you want low output pickups, you should get them and do exactly as they did in the old days. Use the exact same pickups in every position. So you got your 57 Strat, your 62 Strat, your 54 Strat. It's the same pickup in the neck, the middle, the bridge. It's not different output. It's the exact same pickup. Gibson, folks, right here. Here's your 64 Firebird V5. Same pickups. There's not a hot one in the bridge and a warm one in the neck. They're the exact same pickup. So there is a lot to be said about low output pickups and the exact same pickup in every position. Okay? So it comes to the way I do guitars. I designed this one from head to toe, and every last thing about it is perfect. Why? Again, because I designed it. I'll take the credit, man. I think these things out. Okay, the lace sensors, which work way different than anything. They are low output pickups. These are the lace sensor silvers. Okay, exact same pickup. Every position. One is not higher than the other. If you get them too close to the strings, no big deal with the lace sensors. But every other pickup in the world that have these magnet things in them, if you get them too close, it's going to sound worse and worse. The lower you get them, the better fidelity you will have. Just try it. The lower you go, it'll get to a point where it will not be great, but there is a sweet spot, and it is nowhere near your strings. So find a place, put them all the same distance away. And you don't need to use no little feeler gauges or calipers. Those are for wankers. You put them where they sound the best, and that is where they're going to sound the best. I can already tell you that. They're identical, all the way down. Height, output, exact pickup. And they're made better these days in the fact as far as windings, because machines wind them and they can be identical. Instead of everybody makes a big deal about hand wound pickups, that will be inferior because the windings won't be the same, therefore something will be off. Okay, so really think it through. The things that you think are great are for the wrong reasons. The things that you always thought were horrible are actually great, but for different reasons than you thought. The output of pickups, again, are not measured by this K thing that you keep telling everybody about, or you keep buying because you think it's going to be a louder thing, and louder is better, and pickups in the bridge real close to the strings is a great thing. No, it totally destroys your tone and your tuning. Even though your guitar is in perfect tune, the magnets of these things, especially the really high output ones, that's where you're getting, between that and the winding, that's where you're getting your output, not your resistance, your ohms. That makes 0 sense, but again, you're buying into it, just like tone woods. Okay, so again, this guitar, identical, everything, 100% clean amplifier sound. You get the best sound you can, and then work from there. I'm lowering this down so you can just see what I'm doing here, I guess. So I'm just gonna, there you go, turn the amp on so that I actually have all 3 pickups on. And of course everything's wide open on the guitar because there are no tone knobs, no volume knobs, no anything. This little switch here that turns on this pickup here, so if I'm in the 4 position with these 2 pickups, I can turn this on with it, or I can put it here and have the telly thing, or you know, just so you don't have to deal with the regular Strat. Why put up with less features? Okay, I don't consider volume and tone knobs, that I do not ever use, to be a feature. Other than that, I got a kill switch. That's it. Okay, so here you go. All 3 pickups on a nice clean setting. Okay, so you get that. If I go straight down to the bridge pickup, go to the next position, the 2 position, there is no volume jump. Okay, and that's a good thing. Get your boosts from a boost pedal. Keep your guitar tone intact and the best it can be. An amplifier amplifies your tone. Why send it a bad sound? It will just simply make your bad sound louder. Make sense? Middle one. 4 position. Neck. The telly sound, so we're going to have these 2. Now all 3 pickups again, right here. Pristine tone. Okay, especially I'm playing country, but if you start off with a beautiful balanced sound like that, that has the perfect amount of frequencies in it of each one, that does your ear good, and then you just make it louder by, you know, this thing called an amplifier, and then you can have your couple toys on the ground to add distortion or have a different channel on your amp to do that. But you're starting off with a great sound that is simply being amplified. Make sense? Okay, so that's it. Just trying to let you know about that whole K thing. Quit falling for it. Again, it's like the tone wood bull crap, and you're falling for it. The K is ohms. They're just not using the little Greek symbol thing because it's not on the keyboard. Okay, and again, pickups that are lower output are what made the infamous sounds of the 59 Les Paul. They are 1/3, if they were brand spanking new, 1/3 the output of what the Les Pauls are using today, the Les Paul standards. 1/3 the output from if a 59 was brand spanking new than a Les Paul standard right now if it was brand new. And again, the 59s right now have about 1/4 the output that they had when they were brand new, because of the Alnico pickups losing their output because the magnets are dying. And everybody's picking up saying, that's a great sound. Then you should get really weak pickups if that is a great sound, instead of going with higher output pickups like everybody does. Think it through, or don't, because I just explained it to you. Now, since I explained it, think it over. Okay? I'm Scott Grove. Look, not even a pop when I pull it out. Shows you I know what I'm doing. From Groovy. Man. GroovyMusicLessons.com. With my infamous creation. I know, you're jealous. You should be. Awesome axe, man. If anybody ever wants to know about it, let me know. I've got plenty of info online about it too. But yeah, just think smarter than you are. Again, no matter what kind of music you play, there's a weird saying. It's not a weird saying, but it's like good. If you put good in, you get good out. It's like eating. You eat good food, you get good energy. You get same thing here. You give an amplifier, a good sounding amplifier, a great sounding amplifier, a great sounding guitar signal. It will sound great. Then you can spice it up with other ingredients. But if you start doing things that are detrimental to your tone to begin with, and send it a junky sound, and then start turning knobs the other way, which wreck your sound even more, and that's amplified, it's just bad thinking. Okay? So do the groovy thing. You don't have to do the groovy thing and play country and sound like I do, but do the groovy thing and think it through. Get informed. Go to Planned Parenthood, which is being defunded. No. Just think it through, kids. Okay? Later.